just kind of like had a little argument with my ex, and he shut the door in my face. I was so close to almost breaking the window. So then I came out of their room holding a knife. I will show you that today I am mad. Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Panda Marie, and I'm here with a story to tell you about some things that happened a little recently. So please don't ignore me. Yeah, okay, so if you are new here, this is me all the time. I am very weird and I say things and I don't think before I talk. So if you want to click off this video, you can do so. The only thing is that you break my heart, so please don't go, please stay. Anyway, this video is long overdue. You guys have asked for it and I semi-delivered, but I had to go back and deliver again. So here I am delivering it, and this is a story time about how I got kicked out of my hostel. Yeah, you heard that right. But it's all good, it's all good, no bad blood. Let's just get right into the video. So this all took place on a Sunday. It kind of started from Saturday. The previous day, the Saturday, I just kind of like had a little argument with my ex. That was what happened Saturday basically. So then the next day was Sunday, and we go to the same church, but he wasn't in church that day. When I came back from church, I went to the hostel and I went to knock on his door. I went to his room to check if like he was around, just to, you know, see what's up. Like, are we good? We cool? Like, what's up? You the Bob? So I went there, he wasn't there, but his roommate was there. So I knocked on the door and his roommate opened the door. And before, I had told his roommate to already check up on him. So I called him and asked him, so hey, did you end up not finding him? Did you end up talking to him and figuring out where he was basically? Because he had gone somewhere after the arguments. And he was like, no, he didn't do that. And I was like, oh, by you, why? He's your friend, he's your roommate, like you should check up on him, that type of thing. You did, Bob. And he was like, meh. And like the thing about this guy, let's call him Rico. So the thing about Rico is that Rico is actually a very annoying person. Like, no lie, he's just very annoying. From the start he has been annoying, and I tolerated him for some time, but after some time I just stopped tolerating him. So that's how the relationship between me and him was like. So it was just being like, yeah, I don't know, and I didn't, and I was like, bro, all you had to do was check up on him, see if he was alright, see why he didn't come back to the room last night. The thing between me and him is that some time ago there was this like fallout. Before we were like cool, we were alright, and there was this fallout, so we stopped talking to each other. And I had already gone to him about 2 times to apologize. The first time I think I texted him, and the second time it was face to face. I was telling him about how, look, I just want to apologize for what happened between the both of us, and right now, see, the guy is your roommate, he's your friend, he's also my friend. So if anything, you'll probably be seeing me around, and we're all in the same hostel. So let's just try and maintain some respectful relationship for the sake of my ex, the Bob. And then the first time I just texted him, then I didn't get a reply. So the second time when I said, he was like, he doesn't care what goes on between me and him, and that's, what do you mean? That's between us, and he doesn't want anything to have to do with it. And I'm like, yeah, I know you don't care, and right now I'm not saying it's about me and him. Right now it's about me and you. I'm trying for us to be cool. Like, I'm trying to be the bigger person here. I'm literally apologizing to you. And he was still going on about, yeah, I don't care, whatever happens is between you two, so don't involve me, blah blah blah. And I was like, bro, this is between me and you. I am trying to apologize to you, not to anybody else, to you. So let us talk about what is happening between us, not what is happening between me and somebody else. I was still talking, and this is the part that just it just makes me. So I was still talking to him, trying to explain to him the fact that I'm trying to be cool with him, and he shut the door in my face. Like I was talking mid-sentence, and this boy just slammed the door right in front of my face. I was like, what? Oh, okay. I was confused out of my mind. So then I was just like, okay, sure, bet, let me just go back to my room. So I was going back to my room, then like I stopped midway. I just stopped in my tracks. I was like, nah, because let me tell you why. Because the first time I apologized to him face to face, he also shut the door in my face. So this was my second face to face apology, and this was my second door slamming experience thingy, you get me? So then I just stopped dead in my tracks, and I was like, hold up, no, I'm not going to allow this boy to disrespect me like that. So then I walked back and I knocked on the door, and he knew it was me, so he didn't open. Then I kept knocking, then I started banging, like boom 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 boom. I was banging on the door, and then they were playing music, so they turned up the music louder. Then I turned up my banging louder, and then I was just there. Then I stopped. I was like, I bet Abi you come out. So I was shouting through the window. I was like, oh Abi, you come out soon, you come out. So when you come out, then we'll see what's up. So now I was just standing outside waiting, and one of their friends came around, and he was also knocking, but because I was still standing over there, they couldn't open the door. So then he was knocking, was like, oh bro, it's me, why? And he was like, yeah, he can't open the door because of me. So then the guy was laughing, then I was just staring at him like this. And our hostel, we had like this shared place thingy where you could sit around and things. So the guy went to sit there, and their room was on the top floor, so he was sitting downstairs and I was on the top floor. And then I turned, and this guy was looking at me, like was looking up at me, and he was just looking at me. That means I was looking down at him, and he was looking at me, then I was looking at him, then J.I., and I was like, yeah, you better turn your head. That was just like what was going on whilst I was still trying to get into the room. So then time passes by, and I hear them getting ready to leave the room, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's time, this is it. And I started knocking on the door again, and they were opening me up, and I was like, oh, okay, me, I will stay here. I have all day. This was a Sunday. I've closed from church. Imagine, I've closed from church. I have nothing better to do. So I was like, if you want me to sit here and wait all day, me, I can do that too. Me, I have time. I will sit at the back of your door and wait for you to open me. And then it got to a point I even took off my shoe, and like you see, the door had like some window at the top. So then I took my shoe, then I'll jump, then I'll tap the window, I'll jump, then I'll tap the window. I was so close to almost breaking the window because I was so angry at this point. I honestly wanted to break the window, but I was thinking about paying for damages and all of that. Honestly, I wasn't even thinking of damages. But I don't know why I didn't break it, but I just didn't break it. But I really wanted to break the window because I was so livid at this point. So after some time, I was just outside waiting for them, and then they were about to leave the room, so they opened the door. Then he saw me still there, so he closed it. Then I was like, nah, I'm still gonna wait. I'm still going to wait. So then the next time when he opened the door again, then I put my leg in between the door and like the thingy, so she couldn't shut the door. And then I was like, I was pushing the door, and like I had to push my way through inside. So then I got inside the room, and then he was like, okay, now you're inside, so what do you want? Should we leave the room for you? In fact, let's leave the room for you. He was with I think 3 other guys. So then I was like, okay, good. So I went to the kitchen and I was looking for something. and I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I went to the balcony. Then I found it. So then I came out of their room holding a knife, and I was like, yeah, you think I'm crazy? You want to see crazy? I will show you crazy. I will show you that today I am mad. I will show you that I am out of my mind. And they got scared and they ran out of the room, and I was like, yeah, you better run. You better run away. Anyway, so then they went out of the room. Then I shut the door behind them, then I locked it. Then at this point, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, what the heck am I doing? Where the heck am I? I was confused. I was wondering why I was holding a knife, and I just started thinking about how it kind of gets a bit sensitive here. So I was just thinking about how I'm like, I don't think, and I always mess things up, and I'm always causing trouble, and I'm always like being aggressive and things like that. So then somehow, like, I don't want to say the thoughts were coming back, but the thoughts were coming back, and like I was feeling like self-harming, like feeling suicidal and all of that. So then I saw a couple of pills in their room. It was like some medicine. So then I just took it. Then I looked for water. Then I was downing everything, and unfortunately they didn't have water in the room. So the small water that was there, I wasn't able to like take too much pills, so like I couldn't technically overdose. So that's what happened, and I was just like crying and shivering, and I was like rocking back and forth like, what have I done, what have I done, that type of thing. I just wasn't feeling proud of myself at that instance. But then I was still a bit angry at the dude, and the hostel manager came. Then he started knocking on the door, and at this point I'm frozen, I'm stuck, I can't move, I can't talk. I'm just thinking about what the heck is going on with the bab. So he was knocking, was like, Anne, it's me, open up the door, open up the door. And I just couldn't bring myself to stand up and open up the door. So then after some time he just stopped, and I was still there just crying. And then with the knife, I had trigger warning again. So with the knife I just started like, you know, kind of like harming myself. But then fortunately too, the knife wasn't too sharp, so no major damage was done. So during that time, then people started calling me. So then my ex also started calling me, some of my friends started calling me. And the thing about that is that I forgot to mention this. I was at my friend's place that Sunday after church before I came to my hostel, and before I'd asked if they had heard from him, and they were like, nah, they haven't, nah, they haven't. So I was getting worried. I was holding one of my friend's phones. Then I went to call log, and I saw that he had indeed been in contact with him. So at that point I was just like, wow, fake. Was like these fake people lying straight to my face. So that's what made me just leave their hostel and come to my hostel and see if he had come back to school, back to where we were. So then they were just calling my phone, blowing up my line, and I wasn't picking anyone's calls because I was just really out of it at that point to the bar. And after some time, I don't know how long had passed, because obviously I wasn't checking the time, but then some time had passed. I heard the balcony door open. So one of my friends literally risked his life climbing from the balcony of the next room to the balcony of this room, where the room I was in. And mind you, we're on the top floor. So he came, then he saw me there, then he opened the door for the rest of my friends to come in, and they were just like trying to get me out of the room, and they took me downstairs to my room. And at this point I'm scared, I'm crying, I literally went mute. I was experiencing mutism. Like I couldn't talk. Even when I wanted to talk, I just couldn't bring out the words to talk. Nothing was coming out of my mouth. Let me just, so yeah, nothing was coming out of my mouth. And at this point they had also called my sisters, telling them what had happened. And I was, so like, my friends were with me in my room, just trying to get me to talk, trying to find out what happened. Like, I was hearing what they were saying, but I just couldn't process, and I couldn't talk. Like, literally I couldn't talk. Like, it was so involuntary. Like, words were just not coming out of my mouth. That's how bad it was. That's how much I was in a state of shock. So then they called my sister. My sister too was trying to talk to me, and I think my sister wasn't too far from my school at that time, so she came to my school. And before, my friends had come to tell me that the hostel manager was saying that this has happened way too many times, so then they are sacking me from the hostel. And then when my sister came, he told my sister and my mom that this thing has happened like 5 times. And I was like, 5 what? 5 what? This is such a lie. This is an exaggeration. Like, seriously, this has not happened 5 times. If anything, it has happened maximum 3 times, or I think it was even 2 times. It was just once that, like, it had really gotten out of control. Yeah, it was just once that it got out of control. So this was actually the 2nd time something like this was happening. Other times it wasn't anything crazy, but still, like, yeah, I know that it happened sometimes. But like, the way he made it seem was like, this is like the 5th time some screaming has happened and some noise has happened. And this time I wasn't even screaming, there wasn't any fighting, there wasn't any argument. It was just me locking myself up in somebody's room with a knife. That is all. So what do you mean by this is the 5th time? Anywho, so then my sister came, and my sister was also trying to get me to talk with my friends, and I just wasn't budging. And they also called my ex. Like, yeah, they also called my ex, and I was like, in fact, I'm waiting for him to come. And I don't know, at that point I just got like angry at him. I was vexed at him. I don't really know why I was vexed at him, but all I knew was that I was vexed at him. So then my friends started packing up my things and putting in my sister's car, because the hostel manager was like, they want me to leave between this evening and tomorrow morning. Like, I should be out of their hostel. They are giving me the boots. And I was like, I bet. So then my friends were helping me pack my stuff, and I was like, I was going to wait for let's call him Josh. I was going to wait for Josh to come. So then some time also passed by, and evening was coming, and Josh came. And when he came, the annoying thing about him is that he has this way of knowing how to calm me down, even when I'm in my extreme. So when he came, it's like all the anger kind of just disappeared, and I was just glad he was back, and I was just glad he was okay. And he was like also trying to get me to calm down. He was still trying to talk to me. Then I was just able to talk, and at this point it became too emotional, and I was just like, I went back into the Charlie, what is wrong with me, why am I like this? And I was seriously tearing up and things like that. And oh my gosh, I forgot to mention, I literally had a breakdown when my friends were there. I was like banging my head against the wall and screaming and rolling on the floor. Like, that is how bad my episodes can get sometimes. So then it's not a pretty sight. It's not something I like. It's not something I like to live with. YouTube back to who I was. So then I was just like really sad and emotional, and he was like, he's going to escort me back home with my sister. And I was like, I bet. And me, I was happy because he had come back from the mall, and he was holding some chicken nuggets and some milkshake, and I was low-key starving. So me, I just ate it in the car, and we went home. And so I think, yeah, that's basically what happened. That's basically how I got kicked out. I can see my battery's running low, so let me just try and wrap this up. So then, and the funny thing is that the next day my uncle came to help me take like my heavier stuff out of my room, and he was talking to the hostel manager. And can you imagine what the hostel manager told him? Was like, oh no, Aunt Marie's a great girl, we like her, we didn't mean to kick her out, we just wanted her to go home and rest for a couple of days. And I was like, oh really? So why is it that you also removed me from the hostel WhatsApp group? Proof right here. If you wanted me to just go and rest and relax for a few days, why was I removed? Anyway, it was all good, no hard feelings. So I was just finding it annoying, because when my uncle came, they were making it look like it wasn't such a big deal and it was just a little argument and they just wanted me to be okay. But with my sisters and my mom, they made it look like, nah, this girl is out of control, we can't handle her anymore, get her out of here. So I was just like, ugh, double standards, sexism. Okay, sure. Yeah, so that is basically it. That is basically the story of how I got kicked out of my hostel. And I also heard that they were also kicking the guy out, but up to now he is still there. He is still there. And so I'm in a new hostel. I like it. I have AC, my AC is on, I'm chilling. It's all right, it's all good. I don't talk to the guy, I don't talk to Rico, I don't talk to Josh, I don't talk to anybody. But then yeah, right now I'm just like trying not to be associated with always having breakdowns on episodes and things like that. So I'm just glad, not too glad, but then it's not that bad that I'm back on medications. And so far so good. I've been doing pretty good. I've been calm. I haven't had any episodes since that day, so you know, things have been looking up for me. Yeah, thank you Jesus. Yeah, so that is basically the story of how I got kicked out of my hostel. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give a big thumbs up down below. Your like and support really means the world to me, and it helps boost the channel, so you know, love you for that. Don't forget to subscribe. You can share this video with your friends, which I know some of you probably will, because you people like my story times and you just like gossiping about me. Not me acting also famous and popular. Anyway, so yeah, you guys, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment something down below. Oh, I also want to know, do you guys think the hostel was in the wrong or I was in the wrong? Like, do you think them sucking me was valid or it was like way too harsh? Because sometimes I feel like, okay, valid, but sometimes I feel like, nah, we could have sorted this out some other way. But anywho, that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said again and again, don't forget to like, comment something down below, and subscribe if you haven't. We are currently at 800 subscribers and I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I know with you guys' help we will reach that goal. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you next time in my next video. I love you. Bye.